Scene 1. Arrival at the abandoned theme park. The sun was slowly sinking, painting the sky in bruised shades of orange and purple. The distant hum of the city faded, replaced by a heavy, almost oppressive silence. For friends Alex, Sarah, Mike, and Lucy stood before the gates of Adventure World, the abandoned theme park that had been closed for decades. Rust crawled over the metal bars like veins, and peeling paint clung to broken signs. The words "Welcome to Adventure World" were barely legible, the letters chipped and layered with grime from years of neglect. Alex adjusted his backpack straps and looked at the others. "It's bigger than I imagined," he said, trying to hide the tremor in his voice. Sarah shivered and hugged herself. "I don't know why we're doing this at dusk. Even in daylight, this place is creepy." Mike chuckled. "Exactly why we're doing it now. Imagine the stories, the videos, maybe even something viral. We'll be legends." Lucy's gaze swept over the broken structures, torn banners, and scattered debris. "Something doesn't feel right." The wind moves strangely through the rides. "It's almost alive." The main gate loomed over them. Mike pushed it open, and it groaned loudly, echoing through the empty park. Rust flakes fell like brown snow. The air smelled of decay, mildew, and forgotten memories. Inside, the park was a graveyard of its former glory. Roller coasters sat frozen mid-loop, tracks twisted and coated in rust. The carousel was partially disassembled. The remaining horses seemed frozen mid-gallop, their blank eyes staring at the intruders. Torn banners swayed with the evening breeze, whispering secrets carried through decades. As they moved forward, a faint sound reached them, a soft, sorrowful sob. Sarah froze. "Did you hear that?" Alex tried to appear confident. "It's probably the wind." But the sobbing grew louder, echoing across empty walkways. It shifted from ride to ride, impossible to locate. Lucy's eyes widened. "No, that's not wind. Something's here." Mike rolled his eyes. "Old buildings do weird things with sound. Let's just stick together." They approached the carousel. Each step echoed unnaturally. The horses, frozen in mid-motion, seemed almost alive in the dim light. One horse's eye caught the dying sun, giving the illusion of a living gaze. From above, somewhere along the roller coaster tracks, a low, rhythmic creaking sound began. Clang, clang, clang. It echoed through the empty park like a warning. Alex whispered, "It's just metal settling, right?" But the sound was deliberate, calculated, as if some unseen presence moved above them. They reached the ticket booths. Glass was shattered, counters toppled, yellowed papers scattered across the floor. Among the debris, Alex noticed a tattered doll propped upright on a ledge, one eye missing. Its placement felt deliberate. Lucy stepped closer. "This wasn't here a moment ago." Before anyone could respond, the sobbing returned, louder this time, echoing from the funhouse. Unmistakably human, yet no one was in sight. Sarah's knees shook. "We need to leave, now." Mike hesitated. "One quick look inside, then we leave." Perfect for footage. The air grew colder as they neared the funhouse. Frost or something unnervingly like it clung to broken mirrors. Reflections twisted, making it impossible to tell where walls ended and shadows began. The sobbing stopped, replaced by a heavy silence. Their footsteps echoed unnaturally. A whisper brushed Alex's ear. "You shouldn't be here." Sarah grabbed his arm. "Let's go back." Mike gestured toward the entrance. Just one peek. Inside. The funhouse swallowed them into darkness. Mirrors bent corridors in impossible ways, distorting reflections. From deep inside, the sobbing returned, multiplied a chorus of invisible children crying. The sound came from everywhere and nowhere at once. Lucy's flashlight flickered and died. Shadows thickened, moving independently. The group huddled together, breaths visible in the cold air. The smell of decay and something distinctly human filled the room. From the darkness, soft whispers echoed, "Stay, forever." Alex's voice trembled. We need to keep moving." Sarah whispered, "I feel eyes on me." Everywhere. The walls seemed to close in, mirrors reflecting their panic. Each corridor led to another identical corridor. A distant squeal of metal scraping echoed from above. Suddenly, a door creaked open, revealing a room lit by a faint glow. Tiny shoes were arranged in a circle on the floor, some wet with recent tears. Lucy knelt. This isn't old. Someone or something has been here." A high-pitched sob sounded directly behind them. Spinning around, they saw nothing but darkness. Each step echoed endlessly. The funhouse seemed alive. Mirrors reflecting their worst fears. Twisted faces, mouths screaming silently. Shadows that moved against the light. Mike swallowed hard. "We shouldn't split up." The corridors seemed to have other plans. Reflections twisted, drawing Sarah away from the group. "Wait, don't go." Alex shouted, but she moved forward, compelled by the shadows. A sudden gust extinguished all lights. The park outside felt impossibly far. They were trapped, the sobbing surrounding them, growing a chorus of lost children. Crying, pleading, accusing. A faint, distorted voice whispered into Alex's ear, "You will never leave." And in that moment, they realized the park wasn't just empty. It was alive, aware of them, and unwilling to let them go. Scene 2. Into the funhouse. The cold darkness of the funhouse swallowed Alex, Sarah, Mike, and Lucy as soon as they stepped inside. The corridors twisted unnaturally, mirrors reflecting impossible angles, and shadows moving independently of the light. Every step echoed like a drumbeat in a cathedral of fear. Sarah shivered, pulling her jacket tighter. "I don't like this. It's too quiet, too perfect." Alex held up his flashlight. Its weak beam barely cut through the darkness. "It's fine," he said, though his voice betrayed his unease. "Just follow me." But the group quickly realized that following was easier said than done. Every corridor looked identical, and reflections in the mirrors warped their perceptions. They turned left, then right, but somehow ended up in the same place or somewhere that felt the same. Lucy's voice trembled. "It's like the funhouse is moving, changing." Suddenly, a faint sob echoed from deep within the building, closer this time. Not just one, but multiple voices crying softly, overlapping each other. The sound bounced off the mirrors, making it impossible to locate the source. Mike forced a laugh. "It's just acoustics, guys. Old buildings do this. Nothing to worry about." Asterisk, but as the sound intensified, it became impossible to ignore. The sobs were human, filled with desperation. Sarah clutched Alex's arm. "I think someone's here. Someone crying." In pain, asterisk, the corridor ahead suddenly opened into a small room bathed in a faint, unnatural glow. On the floor, tiny children's shoes were arranged in a circle. In the center, a small puddle of water reflected the dim light. But as they approached, they realized the liquid was streaked with something dark, like dried tears. Asterisk, Lucy whispered, This isn't old. Someone or something has been here recently." Asterisk, the sobbing grew louder, surrounding them. Now it was impossible to tell which direction it was coming from. Each echo seemed to come from the mirrors themselves. The reflections flickered, showing distorted faces, mouths screaming silently, eyes wide in terror. Asterisk, Alex tried to calm them. "Stay together. Don't panic." Asterisk. But the panic was already setting in. Sarah's flashlight flickered and went out. Darkness enveloped them, cold and suffocating. The group huddled together, trying to see with whatever light remained from the faint glow of the room. Asterisk, a whisper brushed past Alex's ear, soft and almost teasing. "You can't leave." Asterisk, Sarah screamed as a shadow darted across the floor, faster than any person could move. Mike tried to shine his light, but it revealed nothing but lonely, empty corridors, mirrors reflecting fear back at them. Asterisk, the funhouse itself seemed to pulse, breathing with a life of its own. Each step the friends took seemed anticipated, the corridors shifting subtly, guiding them deeper into the building. Asterisk, Lucy noticed a small door slightly ajar in one corner. "Maybe this leads outside," she said, trying to sound hopeful. Asterisk, but as they approached, the door slammed shut with a deafening bang, throwing them back several steps. The sobbing turned into wails, echoing through every corridor, coming from nowhere and everywhere. Asterisk, Alex's flashlight flickered back on for a moment, catching sight of something horrifying. Reflected in one of the mirrors was a shadowy figure, tall and indistinct, standing motionless behind them. But when they turned, no one was there. Asterisk, Sarah's voice shook. "We need to get out. Now." Asterisk, Mike nodded, but even he looked unsure. "Okay, but we need a plan. Stick together. Don't split up." Asterisk, they moved down another corridor, the walls bending and stretching in impossible ways. Reflections showed them walking in circles, sometimes 3 of them in the mirror, while only 4 were present. A cold breeze carried the unmistakable scent of decay and something else, something human. Asterisk, suddenly, the crying stopped. Silence pressed against their ears. And then a child's laugh, high-pitched and cruel, echoed from above. It was a sound no human should make, a mix of innocence and malice. Asterisk, Lucy gasped. "It's coming from the ceiling, or above the roller coaster tracks inside." Asterisk, the ceiling above groaned, as if responding, a slow creak that grew louder and more deliberate. Each step reverberated, matching the rhythm of their racing hearts. Asterisk, Alex whispered, "This isn't a funhouse anymore. It's alive." Asterisk, the group pressed forward, cautiously, and stumbled upon another room. This one was filled with broken animatronics, once cheerful animals now twisted into grotesque forms. Their eyes seemed to follow every movement, some rocking slightly as if nudged by invisible hands. Asterisk, Sarah froze. They're moving, but no one is touching them. Asterisk, a shadow flickered behind one of the animatronics. Alex turned quickly. Nothing. Yet the feeling of being watched intensified. Asterisk. Suddenly, the sobbing returned, louder, now right behind them. They spun around. The corridor was empty. The mirrors reflected only their frightened faces, until a new reflection appeared, something dark, with hollow eyes. Standing just behind Sarah, she screamed. Asterisk. Mike lunged forward, trying to grab her, but his hand passed through nothing. The shadow vanished, but Sarah collapsed to her knees, sobbing uncontrollably. Asterisk. Lucy knelt beside her. It's okay. It's okay. Just keep moving. Asterisk. The corridor ahead stretched unnaturally. They could see an exit in the distance, a faint light, promising escape, but the path seemed endless. Each step brought them back to a similar place. Corridors folding like a maze designed to trap them. Asterisk. Alex whispered, "We have to keep moving. Don't stop." Asterisk. As they advanced, the sobbing grew to a chorus, now surrounding them on all sides. The mirrors began to warp, showing scenes from their own past spheres, regrets, and forgotten memories. Each reflection whispered in distorted voices, echoing their own doubts. "You'll never leave. You belong here." Asterisk. A cold wind rushed through the corridor, extinguishing Alex's flashlight again. The shadows seemed to stretch, twisting into forms resembling the crying children, their eyes hollow and accusing. Asterisk. Sarah screamed again, this time louder, as invisible hands brushed past her, cold and pinching, leaving icy trails along her skin. Asterisk. Mike shouted, "Keep moving. Don't look back." Asterisk. The group stumbled into another room, filled with old carnival games. Each prize stuffed animals, faded toys, had tears streaked across them, as if the toys themselves had cried. The wailing now seemed to come from inside the toys, tiny whispers asking for release. Asterisk. Lucy's voice trembled. This is impossible. It's not real. Asterisk. But the sobbing intensified. A shadow stretched across the walls, moving faster than any of them could comprehend. The friends huddled together, unsure whether to run or hide. Asterisk. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from above the roller coaster tracks, shifting violently. Dust and debris fell around them. A hollow, distorted laugh followed, bouncing off the mirrors. Asterisk. Alex whispered, "We have to find a way out. Now." Asterisk. The group sprinted down a corridor, following the faint light they hoped would lead outside. Each mirror reflected not just their path, but twisted images of themselves. Screaming silently, Asterisk. The funhouse seemed endless. Corridors looping in impossible ways, shadows flickering at the edge of their vision. The sobbing followed them, now directly inside their minds, whispering, "Stay. Forever." Asterisk. And then the floor beneath them trembled. Something massive moved above, shaking the very foundation of the building. Dust rained down, and the air grew colder, sharp enough to burn lungs with every breath. Asterisk. They realized, with a chilling certainty, that the park wasn't just haunted, it was aware, alive, and determined to keep them inside. Asterisk. The group stumbled into a wide room at the heart of the funhouse. In the center, a dark pool of water reflected a flickering light. The sobbing was deafening now, coming from every direction. Shadows danced across the walls, stretching toward them. Asterisk. Alex swallowed hard. We have to jump in. It might be the only way to the exit." Asterisk. Sarah shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "We'll die in there." Asterisk. Lucy whispered, "We don't have a choice. It's either the pool or here forever. Asterisk, with a collective shudder, they stepped toward the water. The cold surface rippled unnaturally, reflecting faces that weren't their own. The sobbing surrounded them, pressing in, nearly suffocating. Asterisk, and as they plunged into the unknown, the funhouse seemed to sigh a deep, satisfied sound, as if it had claimed them temporarily, but not entirely. Scene 3. The heart of the funhouse full version. The icy water engulfed them instantly. The pool in the center of the funhouse wasn't ordinary water, was unnatural, freezing cold, and seemed to pulse with a life of its own. Every movement sent ripples across the surface, and within each ripple, distorted reflections of themselves stared back with silent screams. Asterisk, Alex struggled to keep his head above the surface. Stay together. Don't panic. Asterisk, Sarah clutched Lucy desperately. It's freezing. I can't. Asterisk, Mike kicked toward the edge, but the pool seemed endless. The walls stretched away as if the funhouse itself were bending space to trap them. Shadows writhed beneath the surface like fingers, grasping for them. Asterisk, Lucy gasped, pointing. Look, something's moving under us. Asterisk, from below came a soft sobbing, layered, multiplying like an echo from another dimension. Stay. Forever. Stay. The voices overlapping their own fears, their own memories. Asterisk, Alex felt icy fingers brush against his ankle. He screamed, thrashing violently. Sarah clutched him tightly. It's pulling us down. Asterisk, Mike shouted. Swim. Swim toward the faint light. A dim glow beckoned from across the pool. Asterisk, one by one, they pushed against the icy pool. Each stroke a struggle, each breath a battle. The reflections in the water became twisted, showing faces not their own children, pale, crying silently, eyes hollow. Asterisk, Lucy screamed as a dark shape surged beneath her. The shadows reached, intangible, slipping through her hands like smoke. The sobbing escalated, blending into a harsh, screeching tone that made their ears ring. Asterisk, Alex grabbed her arm. We're almost there. Swim. Asterisk, they finally reached the edge, pulling themselves onto a narrow ledge, trembling violently, teeth chattering. The sobbing didn't stop. It now surrounded them, reverberating from the walls, the ceiling, and the floor. Asterisk, the hall they emerged into was enormous, a warped carnival space filled with broken rides, frozen mid-motion. The air reeked of decay, damp wood, and metallic temps. Each ride groaned as if alive, responding to the intruder's presence. Asterisk, Sarah leaned against a broken bumper car. What is this place? Asterisk, Lucy's eyes darted to the shadows. It's not haunted. It's aware. It's feeding on our fear. Asterisk, Mike nodded grimly. Then we move. Find the exit. Stay together. Asterisk, as they advanced, the floor trembled slightly. Shadows flickered along the walls, forming grotesque shapes of children, laughing, crying, and screaming all at once. Reflections multiplied, showing dozens of them, some distorted grotesquely. Asterisk, a faint sound of footsteps echoed behind them, not theirs. Deliberate, slow, circling. Alex turned, but saw nothing. The sound grew louder, impossible to track. Asterisk, Sarah grabbed his arm. Someone's following us. Asterisk, Mike whispered. No one's here. It's the funhouse. Or it's part of it. Asterisk, suddenly, a carousel horse jerked violently, hollow eyes glowing faintly. A high-pitched, childlike laugh echoed, morphing into a chorus, blending cries and screams, innocent yet malevolent. Asterisk Lucy pointed toward a distant doorway. That must be the way out. Asterisk they ran, dodging broken rides and shifting shadows. Each step felt anticipated, mirrored by something unseen. The walls twisted, corridors stretching and narrowing impossibly. Asterisk from above. A shadow lunged, brushing Mike's shoulder. He stumbled, shadows recoiling like living things. Asterisk, Alex helped him up. Keep going. Don't stop. Asterisk, the corridor opened to a stairwell descending into darkness. Cold air bit at their lungs, frost clinging to walls and steps. Sobbing now pressed inside their minds, whispering fears and regrets. You'll never leave. You belong here. Asterisk, halfway down, a step cracked beneath Sarah. Shadows stretched from the broken step, long twisting arms reaching for her. She screamed, clawing at air. Alex yanked her free. Asterisk, Lucy whispered, "It's alive. It's trying to trap us." Asterisk, Mike nodded. "We move carefully. Stick together." Asterisk, at the bottom, they entered a vast hall filled with carnival booths. Prizes streaked with dark stains moved slightly, as if nudged by invisible hands. Sobbing echoed from the toys themselves, layered, terrifying. Asterisk, Sarah cried, "It's everywhere. The walls, the mirrors, the toys." Asterisk, Alex grabbed her. "Keep moving. Don't stop." Asterisk, they pressed forward, dodging shadows and distorted reflections. The exit seemed farther with every step, halls twisting unnaturally. The sobbing pressed inside their minds, whispering fears, "Stay. Forever." Asterisk, suddenly, a shadow surged at Lucy, wrapping her in smoke-like darkness. She screamed violently. Alex and Mike pulled her free, but she collapsed, trembling. Asterisk, Sarah clutched Alex's arm. "It's trying to separate us." Asterisk, Mike nodded. "Move carefully, together. One step at a time." Asterisk, ahead, a faint light in another doorway. But the corridor narrowed impossibly. Shadows reached, brushing cold against their skin. Sobbing became unbearable, echoing in their skulls. "Stay. Forever." Asterisk, as they approached, a massive shadow coalesced, hollow eyes glowing faintly. The sobbing became a deep, menacing laugh. Asterisk, Sarah screamed, "We're trapped." Asterisk, Alex shouted, "Push. Don't stop." Asterisk, they forced through the shadow. It clawed at them, but they emerged into the doorway. Light spilled across the corridor. The shadow did not follow, but the sobbing lingered, echoing off mirrors and walls, a reminder that the funhouse was alive, aware and watching. Asterisk, they collapsed, trembling, teeth chattering, hearts pounding. They had survived the pool, the hall, the stairwell, but the funhouse's challenge was far from over. The night's nightmare was only deepening. Scene 4. The Maze of Shadows full version. The heavy door slammed shut behind them with a deafening clang that rattled their teeth. Dust and debris swirled in the faint light seeping from the cracks above, and the air was thick with a choking, metallic scent that clung to their lungs. Alex, Sarah, Mike, and Lucy froze for a moment, hearts pounding, realizing that the park was no longer simply abandoned, was alive, aware, and intent on trapping them. Asterisk, Sarah's voice trembled. "I told you, this place isn't empty. Something's here. Something alive." Asterisk Alex swallowed, forcing a calm tone. We need to move. Together, stay close, and don't split up. Asterisk, but the moment they stepped forward, the corridor shifted. Mirrors lined the walls, some cracked, some warped. Their reflections moved independently, smiling when they didn't, screaming when they didn't. The corridor seemed endless, twisting and turning, folding upon itself in impossible geometry. Every path led back to the same place, the same hallway they had just left. Asterisk, from somewhere above, a low, scraping creak echoed. It grew louder, following them, circling them, impossible to locate. The floor beneath their feet vibrated slightly, groaning as if the building itself were breathing. Asterisk, Lucy whispered, teeth chattering. It's inside the walls. Or maybe it's the mirrors. I can feel it, watching, waiting. Asterisk, Mike tried to lighten the mood, but his voice wavered. Old structures make weird noises, just echoes, nothing else. Asterisk, but the sobbing began again, soft at first, a trickle, then rapidly swelling into a chorus. It surrounded them, bouncing from wall to wall, floor to ceiling. It was layered, some voices high-pitched like children crying, others deep, guttural, almost animalistic. The effect was unbearable. Asterisk, Sarah gasped, clutching Alex's arm. I feel it in my head. It's inside me. Asterisk, Alex tightened his grip on her shoulder. Ignore it. Focus. Follow me. Asterisk, the corridor opened into a large hall, filled with broken carnival games and scattered prizes, all streaked with dark stains. The air grew colder, frost forming along the edges of the floorboards. Shadows flitted along the walls, twisting unnaturally, merging with reflections in the cracked mirrors. Asterisk, a carousel horse, lurched forward on its broken platform, hollow eyes glowing faintly. It rocked slightly, as if nudged by invisible hands. Sobbing intensified, now emanating from the toys themselves, a chorus of despair and menace. Asterisk, Sarah screamed. It's everywhere. The walls, the mirrors, the toys. Asterisk, Alex grabbed her arm. Keep moving. Don't stop. Asterisk, the hall twisted like a labyrinth. Every exit seemed farther away than possible, corridors elongating, folding in on themselves. Shadows reached from walls and ceilings, brushing cold and sharp against their skin. The sobbing pressed in on their minds, whispering fears, regrets, and memories they never shared. You'll stay. Forever, alone. Asterisk, suddenly, a figure emerged, shadowy, childlike form, with hollow eyes and tears streaking its face. It raised a hand, pointing directly at them. The sobbing became a scream, high-pitched and piercing, making their ears ache. The floor beneath them trembled violently. Asterisk, Mike shouted, don't stop, run. Asterisk, they sprinted toward a faint glow at the far end, dodging broken rides, animatronics, and shifting shadows. Every step seemed mirrored by something unseen, every reflection warped, grotesque. Asterisk, Lucy gasped, pointing to the side. Look, another corridor. That has to lead somewhere. Asterisk, but the funhouse resisted. The walls twisted unnaturally, narrowing and stretching. Shadows lunged from the floors, ceilings, and walls, brushing icy fingers along their arms and legs. Sarah stumbled, falling to her knees, crying, shivering. Asterisk, Alex grabbed her, pulling her up. Don't stop. Keep going. Asterisk, the group reached a staircase descending into darkness. Frost coated the steps, and every breath came in painful, invisible clouds. Sobbing followed them down, now inside their skulls. Each voice distinct yet blending into a terrifying cacophony. You'll never leave. You belong here. Forever. Asterisk halfway down, a step cracked beneath Mike. He almost fell into the shadows below. Alex grabbed him just in time. The shadows elongated, stretching like living tendrils, probing and searching. Asterisk Lucy whispered, "It's alive. It's trying to separate us. We have to stay together." Asterisk Alex nodded grimly. "One step at a time. Stick together. Don't look back." Asterisk at the bottom, they entered a massive hall lined with broken carnival booths. Stuffed animals and toys were streaked with dark stains, eyes glowing faintly, moving slightly as if alive. The sobbing came from everywhere. Mirrors, walls, toys, even the floorboards. It was a chorus of despair and menace, impossible to ignore. Asterisk, Sarah whimpered, clutching Alex. "It's everywhere. The walls, the shadows, the reflections." Asterisk Alex held her close. "We have to keep moving. Don't stop." Asterisk. They pressed forward, the hall twisting unnaturally, exit points appearing and disappearing like illusions. Shadows lunged from corners, floors, ceilings, brushing cold against them. The sobbing pressed relentlessly inside their minds, whispering, "You'll stay. Forever." Asterisk suddenly. A massive shadow surged at Lucy, wrapping her like smoke. She screamed violently, thrashing, sobbing. Alex and Mike pulled her free, but her body shook uncontrollably. Asterisk Sarah clutched Alex's arm, trembling. "It's trying to separate us. Don't let it." Asterisk Mike nodded. "Stay together. One step at a time. Don't stop." Asterisk ahead. A faint light glimmered a possible exit, but the corridor narrowed impossibly. Shadows reached, brushing cold and sharp against their skin. The sobbing was deafening, echoing in their skulls. "Stay. Forever." Asterisk as they neared the doorway, the shadows coalesced into a massive, indistinct figure with hollow eyes glowing faintly. The sobbing became a deep, menacing laugh. Asterisk Sarah screamed, "We're trapped." Asterisk Alex shouted, "Push through. Don't stop." Asterisk they charged forward, forcing themselves past the figure. Its smoky tendrils clawed at them, brushing arms and faces. The doorway loomed ahead. They crossed it into the faint light, collapsing against the walls, teeth chattering, hearts racing. Asterisk the figure did not follow, but the sobbing lingered, echoing off walls, mirrors, and floorboards. A grim reminder. Adventure World was still alive, still watching, still hungry for fear. Asterisk, the four friends had survived the heart of the Funhouse, but the real nightmare was only beginning. Scene 5. Isolation and Terror full version. Asterisk. The light from the previous corridor faded behind them, swallowed by darkness that seemed to pulse like a living thing. Alex, Sarah, Mike, and Lucy pressed forward cautiously, each step echoing unnaturally in the warped hallways. The Funhouse was no longer just a place. It was an entity aware of them, manipulating every shadow, every reflection, every sound. Asterisk Sarah's voice trembled. I don't like this. It's trying to separate us." Asterisk Alex gripped her arm. "We stay together. That's the only way." Asterisk but the corridors had other plans. As they advanced, The hallways split, reflections shifting violently in the mirrors. Each mirror now reflected not their images, but twisted versions of themselves with hollow eyes. Sarah with a mouth frozen in a silent scream, Mike grinning grotesquely, and Lucy with shadows crawling across her skin. Asterisk, a low, layered sobbing began, echoing from every direction, impossible to locate. The sounds seemed to drill into their minds, whispering personal fears and memories. Asterisk, you hear it, right? Lucy whispered, her teeth chattering. Asterisk, Alex nodded, swallowing hard. Yes, stay focused. Don't let it get inside your head. Asterisk, but it was already there. Shadows elongated from the walls, wrapping around their feet, brushing icy fingers along their ankles. The sobbing intensified, now mingled with whispers. You're alone. You'll never leave. You belong here. Asterisk, suddenly, the corridor ahead split into two narrow paths, each leading into deeper darkness. Alex hesitated. Stay close. We take the left one together. Asterisk, as they stepped forward, the floor beneath Sarah gave way slightly. She stumbled, and in that instant, the shadows lunged. One wrapped around her arm, another around her ankle. She screamed violently. Asterisk, hold on. Alex shouted, grabbing her, pulling her upright. But her breathing was rapid, uneven, panic overtaking her senses. Asterisk, Lucy whispered urgently, it's trying to separate us. Don't let go. Asterisk, Mike shone his flashlight down a side hallway. The beam flickered, revealing a grotesque sight. Hundreds of reflections moving independently, twisting and grinning. The walls pulsed, and the shadows stretched toward them, their movements unnaturally fluid, like smoke or liquid darkness. Asterisk, the group moved cautiously, each step deliberate. Every corridor seemed to double back, folding in on itself, trapping them in loops. The sobbing followed them relentlessly, inside their ears, inside their minds, pressing their own fears back at them. You will never leave. You are alone. Asterisk, at a junction, a door creaked open, revealing a room filled with broken carnival animatronics. Their hollow eyes glowed faintly, reflecting their own terror. One figure, a horse on a broken carousel, moved slightly, rocking back and forth. The sobbing intensified, emanating from the toys themselves. Asterisk, Sarah shrieked, it's alive. Everything's alive. Asterisk, Alex grabbed her, forcing her to move. Keep going. Don't stop. Asterisk, they advanced, navigating around shifting shadows, distorted reflections, and broken rides. Every path seemed designed to confuse, to terrify, to isolate. Asterisk, Lucy gasped. It's pulling us apart. Look at the shadows, they're trying to separate us. Asterisk, the corridor narrowed, forcing them into a single file. Shadows brushed along their arms and faces, icy cold and sharp. The sobbing became deafening, echoing in their skulls. You belong here, alone, forever. Asterisk, halfway through, Mike stumbled. A shadow lunged at him, wrapping him in darkness. He screamed, thrashing violently. Alex and Lucy grabbed him, pulling him free. His skin was clammy, his teeth chattering uncontrollably. Asterisk, Sarah whispered, tears streaking her face. It knows our fears. It knows everything. Asterisk, Alex nodded grimly. Yes, and it's using them. But we stick together. That's our only chance. Asterisk, ahead, a faint light glimmered, the first sign of a possible exit. But the corridor seemed to stretch endlessly, walls bending and folding. Shadows surged from ceilings, floorboards, and walls simultaneously, reaching for them, brushing cold along their skin, tugging at their clothing, tugging at their minds. Lucy screamed as one shadow wrapped around her wrist. It pulled sharply, dragging her backward. Alex yanked her free, but she stumbled, nearly falling. Mike shouted, "Don't stop. Keep moving." The hallway opened into a vast, rumor-warped carnival hall filled with broken rides, scattered prizes, and toys that moved slightly, their hollow eyes glowing. The air was icy, and frost coated the floor. The sobbing now came from every surface: the walls, the ceiling, even the floorboards. Sarah gasped, clutching Alex's arm. "It's everywhere. In everything." Alex held her tightly. "Keep moving. Don't stop." The exit appeared at the far end, a dim, flickering light. But as they approached, the shadows surged, forming a massive, indistinct figure. Hollow eyes glowed faintly, and the sobbing morphed into a menacing, layered laugh. Sarah screamed, "We're trapped." Alex shouted, "Push through. Don't stop." They charged forward, forcing themselves past the shadow. Its smoky tendrils clawed at them, brushing arms and faces, but they emerged into the doorway. Light spilled across the corridor. A faint relief, but the sobbing lingered, echoing off mirrors and walls, a grim reminder that the Funhouse was alive, aware and watching. They collapsed against the walls, trembling violently, teeth chattering, hearts racing. Each of them knew the park's power had only grown, and the nightmare was far from over. The Funhouse had tested them individually and together, revealing the terrifying reality: it would stop at nothing to break them, to separate them, to trap them forever. As the light flickered overhead, they realized something chilling: the sobbing had not faded. It followed them, persistent, aware, alive. And somewhere deep in the shadows, the Funhouse waited, ready for the next move.
Scene 6. The final confrontation, full version. The faint light of the previous hallway flickered and died, plunging Alex, Sarah, Mike, and Lucy into near total darkness. The Funhouse seemed to exhale, the air thickening, cold pressing against their skin like invisible hands. Every heartbeat echoed in their chests as though the building itself was listening. Sarah clutched Alex's arm. I can't do this anymore. It's everywhere. It knows our fears. Alex swallowed hard. I know, but we have to keep moving. There's no turning back now. A distant, high-pitched sobbing began, layered, relentless. It seemed to come from inside their heads, inside their chests, everywhere at once. Shadows on the walls writhed, twisting into grotesque shapes that mimicked their fears, their regrets, their memories. Lucy whispered, trembling. It's alive. It's been watching us this whole time, waiting. Mike forced himself to speak, voice cracking. Then we face it together. That's the only way. But the Funhouse had grown impatient. Corridors bent impossibly, turning back on themselves. Mirrors distorted their reflections, showing versions of themselves twisted with horror, screaming silently. Each step forward was met with resistance. The floors groaned, shadows lunged, and the icy cold pressed deeper into their bones. Suddenly, a shadow surged from the ceiling, wrapping around Mike. He screamed violently, his feet lifted off the ground. Alex and Lucy lunged, pulling him free, but the force of the entity left him trembling, Teeth chattering, gasping for breath. Asterisk Sarah whimpered. It's stronger. It's trying to break us apart. Asterisk Alex held them together. No, we stay together. Every step, every moment, together. Asterisk ahead, a faint glow appeared at doorway, perhaps the final exit. But the path was treacherous. Shadows writhed across the floor like living tendrils, reaching for them, brushing icy cold along arms and legs. The sobbing became deafening, a layered chorus echoing in their skulls. You belong here. Forever. Asterisk Lucy screamed as one shadow wrapped around her wrist, pulling her backward. Alex yanked her free, but she stumbled, nearly falling. Asterisk Mike shouted, Don't stop. Keep moving. Asterisk the corridor opened into a vast hall, the heart of the Funhouse. Broken rides, tattered banners, and scattered prizes filled the space. Hollow-eyed animatronics shifted subtly, turning toward them as if aware. Frost coated the floor. The sobbing emanated from every surface, the walls, ceiling, floor, even the mirrors now, a chorus of despair and menace. Asterisk Sarah gasped. It's everywhere. In everything. Asterisk Alex grabbed her, forcing her forward. Keep moving. Don't stop. Asterisk shadows surged, forming monstrous shapes with hollow eyes, clawed hands, mouths that seemed to whisper their deepest fears. The floor beneath them trembled, groaning as if alive. Asterisk, the four friends ran together, dodging shadows, animatronics, broken rides, reflections that warped reality. Each step seemed both real and unreal. The sobbing pressed inside their minds relentlessly, echoing their personal fears. You're alone? You'll never leave. You belong here? Asterisk Lucy pointed ahead. The doorway. That's our way out. Asterisk, but the shadows coalesced into a massive, indistinct figure stretching across the hall, hollow eyes glowing faintly. The sobbing turned into a terrifying, layered laugh reverberating through the walls, floors, and ceiling. Asterisk Sarah screamed. We're trapped. Asterisk Alex shouted, Push through. Don't stop. Asterisk they charged forward, forcing themselves past the figure. Its smoky tendrils clawed at them, brushing arms and faces, trying to pull them into the darkness. Each friend felt icy fingers brush their skin, tug at their clothes, press on their minds with whispers of despair. Asterisk step by step, they pushed forward, hearts racing, teeth chattering. Shadows reached from every angle, but their resolve held. They shouted, screamed, clung to each other. The doorway loomed closer. Asterisk at the final moment, the massive shadow surged, wrapping tendrils around Alex. Pain and fear gripped him, but he focused on Sarah, Lucy, and Mike. Using every ounce of strength, he forced the shadow aside, breaking through into the light beyond. Asterisk the others followed, stumbling, gasping, terrified, but alive. They collapsed in the faint glow of the exit. The sobbing persisted, echoing from behind, but its intensity diminished. The Funhouse had tested them, stretched their fears, pressed on their minds and hearts, but they had survived. Asterisk, they looked back once more. The corridors beyond the exit shimmered unnaturally, shadows lingering, waiting, aware of every move. The park was not done. Adventure World's haunted heart remained, patient, sentient, feeding on fear. Asterisk, but for now, the four friends had escaped its immediate grasp. They clung together, trembling, exhausted, yet alive. Outside, the wind carried distant echoes of sobbing, whispering reminders. The nightmare had not ended. It only paused, waiting for the next souls to enter, for the next fear to feed upon.
Scene 7. The Hall of Echoes full version. The air grew colder as Alex, Sarah, Mike, and Lucy pressed forward. The faint light from the previous corridor had vanished completely, leaving them in oppressive darkness. Each step echoed unnaturally, reflecting off walls that no longer seemed solid. The funhouse had changed, morphing the hallways into something impossibly twisting maze designed to disorient, terrify, and isolate. Sarah shivered, her teeth chattering. I can't do this anymore. Every step, it's like the walls are alive, watching us. Alex whispered firmly, trying to keep his own fear in check. We stay together, one step at a time. Don't panic. Don't look back. But the moment they took a step, the walls seemed to shift. Shadows stretched unnaturally, reaching across the floor like fingers. The mirrors along the walls reflected not just their images, but distorted versions. Alex with eyes hollow and screaming silently. Sarah with twisted, impossible limbs. Mike grinning grotesquely. And Lucy's face streaked with shadows that weren't her own. A soft, high-pitched sobbing began, barely audible at first. Then it multiplied, layering itself into a chorus that seemed to come from everywhere at once. The walls, the mirrors, even inside their own minds. Lucy whispered, voice shaking, it's inside us. In our heads. Mike tried to reassure them. It's just the building echoes. Nothing else. But the sobbing intensified, merging with whispering voices. You're alone. You'll never leave. You belong here. The corridor ahead split into two narrow paths. Alex paused. Stay together. We take the left one. As they stepped forward, the floor beneath Sarah groaned. A shadow lunged, wrapping around her legs. She screamed violently, trying to pull free. Alex and Lucy grabbed her, dragging her upright. Her eyes were wide with pure terror, breath ragged. Mike's flashlight flickered, revealing hundreds of reflections moving independently, twisting and grinning at them. The shadows reached from the walls, ceilings, and floorboards simultaneously, brushing icy fingers along their skin. Lucy whispered again, trembling. It wants to separate us. Don't let it. They moved carefully, each step deliberate. Every corridor looped impossibly, folding in on itself. The sobbing echoed in their skulls, whispering fears and regrets they had never shared. You will never leave. You are alone. Forever. Suddenly, a door creaked open, revealing a room filled with broken carnival animatronics. Their hollow eyes glowed faintly, following their every move. One figure, a horse, frozen mid, leap-jerked violently, as if alive. The sobbing emanated from the toys themselves, a chorus of despair and menace. Sarah shrieked. Everything's alive. The walls, the shadows, the toys. Alex grabbed her arm. Keep moving. Don't stop. They advanced, dodging shifting shadows, distorted reflections, and broken rides. Every path seemed designed to confuse, terrify, and isolate them. Lucy pointed ahead. The exit. Maybe that's our way out. But the funhouse resisted. The corridor narrowed, forcing them into a single file. Shadows lunged from walls and ceilings, brushing cold and sharp against their skin. The sobbing now pressed directly into their minds. You belong here. Forever. Halfway through, Mike stumbled. A shadow lunged at him, wrapping him in darkness. He screamed, thrashing violently. Alex and Lucy pulled him free, but his body shook, teeth chattering uncontrollably. Asterisk, Sarah whispered through tears. It knows our fears. Our thoughts. Everything. Asterisk, Alex nodded grimly. Yes, and it's using them. But we stay together. That's our only chance. Asterisk, ahead. A faint light glimmered a doorway, possibly the exit. But the corridor stretched impossibly. Shadows surged from every angle, reaching for them, tugging at clothing, brushing icy fingers along skin. Asterisk, Lucy screamed as one shadow wrapped around her wrist. Alex yanked her free, pulling her forward. Asterisk, the hallway opened into a vast hall, the heart of the funhouse. Broken rides, tattered banners, and scattered prizes littered the space. Hollow-eyed animatronics shifted subtly, turning toward them as if aware. Frost coated the floor. The sobbing came from every surface, the walls, ceiling, floor. Mirrors a layered chorus of despair and menace. Asterisk, Sarah gasped, clutching Alex. It's everywhere, in everything. Asterisk, Alex forced them onward. Keep moving. Don't stop. Asterisk, shadows surged, forming monstrous shapes with hollow eyes and clawed hands. Mouths whispered their deepest fears, breathing icy dread into their minds. The floor trembled, groaning as if alive. Asterisk, the four friends ran together, dodging shadows, animatronics, broken rides, and reflections that warped reality. Each step seemed both real and unreal. The sobbing pressed into their minds relentlessly. You're alone. You'll never leave. You belong here. Asterisk, Lucy pointed to the far end. The doorway. That's our way out. Asterisk, the shadows coalesced into a massive, indistinct figure stretching across the hall. Hollow eyes glowed faintly. The sobbing became a terrifying laugh, reverberating through walls, floors, and ceilings. Asterisk, Sarah screamed. We're trapped. Asterisk, Alex shouted. Push forward. Don't stop. Asterisk, they charged, forcing themselves past the shadow. Its smoky tendrils clawed at them, brushing arms and faces, but they emerged into the doorway. Light spilled across the corridor, faint relief washing over them. Asterisk, the shadow did not follow, but the sobbing lingered, echoing off mirrors and walls. Adventure World had tested them again, showing its sentience, its hunger for fear. Asterisk, they collapsed, trembling violently, teeth chattering, hearts racing. Each knew the nightmare was far from over. The funhouse had won before, would wait patiently for the next step, the next fear, the next soul to enter. Asterisk, for now. They were alive, but the whispers and sobbing reminded them. The park was never truly empty, and the horror was eternal. Scene 8. The escape, or the end full version. The hall stretched endlessly before them. Light from the previous corridors was gone, replaced by shadows so thick they seemed almost tangible. Every sound, their breaths, footsteps, and racing hearts echoed, unnaturally, bouncing off walls that weren't solid. Alex, Sarah, Mike, and Lucy clung together, terrified but determined. They had survived so much already, but the funhouse had intensified its malice. Asterisk, Sarah whispered, trembling violently. I can't do this anymore. It's everywhere, in our heads, watching us. Asterisk, Alex gripped her arm tightly. I know, but we can't stop. We have to get out together. Asterisk, from somewhere above, a high-pitched, layered sobbing began. It multiplied, forming a chorus that seemed to originate not just from the walls, but from the air itself, from inside their own minds. Shadows slithered along the floors, walls, and ceilings, stretching and contorting into grotesque forms, each reflecting their deepest fears. Asterisk, Lucy whispered, her voice shaking. It's alive. It knows everything. It feeds on our fear. Asterisk, Mike's voice cracked, but he tried to sound resolute. Then we face it, together. Asterisk, the corridor ahead split, each path twisting impossibly. Mirrors lined the walls, reflecting not only their images, but distorted versions. Alex, with hollow eyes. Sarah screaming silently. Mike, with grotesque teeth. And Lucy, covered in writhing shadows. Asterisk shadows lunged from the walls, brushing icy fingers along their skin. The sobbing intensified, now whispering directly into their minds. You will never leave. You belong here. Forever. Asterisk Alex pointed toward a narrow hallway glowing faintly in the distance. That's it. Stay together. Don't stop. Asterisk, the floor trembled violently as they ran, groaning underfoot. A massive shadow surged ahead, filling the hallway, tendrils reaching for them. The four friends pressed closer, bodies shaking violently, teeth chattering, lungs burning. Asterisk Sarah screamed as a shadow wrapped around her wrist. Alex yanked her free, forcing her forward. Lucy stumbled as another tendril brushed her back. Mike grabbed her, keeping her upright. Asterisk, the hallway opened into the final chamber. A vast room filled with broken carnival rides, scattered prizes, and animatronics whose hollow eyes glowed faintly. Frost coated the floor. Shadows surged from every corner, reaching, lunging, curling around pillars and beams. The sobbing was deafening, layered, impossible to ignore. You belong here, forever, alone. Asterisk Sarah collapsed to her knees, sobbing uncontrollably. I can't. Asterisk Alex lifted her. Yes, you can. We all can, together. One step at a time. Asterisk shadows formed into monstrous figures with hollow eyes, clawed hands, and mouths whispering fears aloud. The floor trembled and groaned. The friends ran together, dodging shadows, twisted reflections, and moving toys. Each step was both real and unreal. The sobbing pressed inside their minds, whispering personal fears. You're alone. You'll never leave. Asterisk Lucy spotted a faint doorway, flickering with hope. There, that's our way out. Asterisk, the shadows surged, forming a massive, indistinct figure, blocking their path. The sobbing transformed into a horrifying, layered laugh. Asterisk, Alex shouted, push through. Don't stop. Asterisk, they charged forward, forcing their way past the shadow. Its smoky tendrils clawed at them, brushing their arms and faces. Teeth chattered, muscles burned, lungs ached, but they pressed forward. United, Asterisk, at the final step, the massive shadow lunged, wrapping Alex in darkness. He screamed, struggling, feeling the cold press inside his chest. He forced his mind on Sarah, Lucy, and Mike, drawing strength from them. With a burst of energy, he broke free, dragging the others along. Asterisk, the doorway loomed close. Light spilled through. One final push, one final scream, and they burst through, collapsing outside into the cool night air. Asterisk, the park was silent now. The fog lifted slightly. Wind whispered through broken rides and scattered debris. The sobbing had faded, but lingered faintly in the distance. A reminder that the Funhouse had survived, patient, sentient, awaiting the next souls. Asterisk, they lay on the ground, trembling violently, hearts racing, teeth chattering. They had escaped, but each of them knew the funhouse had marked them, its presence embedded in their minds forever. The horror wasn't over. It had survived them, patient, aware, waiting. Asterisk, Sarah turned to Alex. We made it, but... Asterisk, Alex nodded grimly. Yes, but it's still alive, waiting, watching, feeding on fear. It's not over. Not really. Asterisk. The wind carried distant echoes of sobbing, soft at first, then rising, layering like it had in the halls. Adventure World had tested them, stretched their fears, threatened to separate them, and nearly succeeded. Yet here they were alive. Asterisk, Lucy whispered, tears streaking her face. Will it ever let anyone leave? Asterisk, Mike shivered. Not really. It waits, always. For the next ones, asterisk, the four friends got to their feet, supporting each other. Behind them, the funhouse loomed, silent, shadows pooling in its corners, the night wind carrying faint, layered sobs. They had survived the final confrontation, but Adventure World had left its marker lingering presence in their minds, a reminder of the terror they endured, and the horrors still waiting inside. Asterisk, they walked slowly away, into the night, hearts still racing, but together. The ordeal had ended, for now, but deep inside, each knew the park would never truly be gone. It had survived, patient, alive, and hungry, waiting for its next victims.